I'd like to call the City Council meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Gina, would you start us off?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gina, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Councilperson Alvarez?
Here.
Councilperson Jaworski?
Here.
Councilperson Geisers?
Here.
Councilperson Clem? Councilperson Williams?
Here.
Councilperson Gully?
Here.
Councilperson Zilli?
Here.
We have communications, correspondence, announcements from the mayor. I do not have any at this time. So we will move on to new business, COVID-19 leave policy.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. So, Council, you were sent the finalized version from Dan earlier. This is our COVID leave policy. Other cities have started passing these. If you have any questions, Dan's here to answer those. Happy to defer to you all if you want to vote on it tonight, or if we want to push this off to our next special meeting next week or the regular meeting on the 2nd, but did want to get it on the agenda in front of you tonight. We don't need to read it. It's not an ordinance. So.
Okay, I did.
So what I've sent to you all is a draft for your consideration, and really what I did was I looked around at some of the other municipalities around to kind of see what they were doing. I went out to the county, spent some time there, went to Holbrook, for example. A couple other cities, kind of pulled together what I thought might be some good points from their policies, chatting with them. So what you have in front of you is sort of, after gathering up the different policies and executive orders that have been passed, this is kind of the final draft of pulling some of those things together. It's a working draft. You certainly can make any changes. It seems like, in looking around at some of what the other political subdivisions have done, they've attacked this in two different sort of categories, I suspect. So is the best way to put it. For example, the county more addressed the time off, when you have to come back to work, and how long you have to wear a mask. That was really the crux of their COVID policy. And as far as, but they didn't really address pay, because they just took the position that if you're off for COVID, you can use and need to use your sick time. That's what we do with the county. Talking with Hammond's city attorney and some of what was going on over there, their mayor issued an executive order that created the COVID leave, for lack of a better term, for COVID-related absences. Over at Hobart, theirs was very similar. They created a COVID leave, a potential COVID sick pay with a specific request form, and they differentiated that their leave is only available to vaccinated employees, and if you are unvaccinated and you wanted to request a hardship consideration for the pay, you could do so, but their notion of hardship was there was some medical reason why you couldn't get the vaccine or something along those lines. So they left that possibility in their policy. So what I did, so you guys could kind of see a little bit of all of it, is I created something based upon my conversations with you all and those conversations I had abroad. And so you'll see two parts to this, really, that attack both. One is I did create a portion that talks about the amount of time off, broke it out into different categories, vaccinated, unvaccinated, showing symptoms, not showing symptoms, kind of what I'm seeing with other policies around, how much time you have to be off, you have to wear a mask, that sort of thing. The other section is more related to the ability to receive something that I've called in this policy COVID sick leave. And I did something very similar to what Hobart did. So that's what you have in front of you. And we've talked so much about this, it just seemed like you guys wanted something to consider.
Yeah, Dan, just one thing. I know you and I had talked about it and you had reached out.
Yes.
So on the 80 hours, I do, as we discussed, we'll need to clarify that for firefighters who work 24-hour shifts. So we had talked about making that 6 24-hour shifts and adding that to the policy, which would be the equivalent of
Yes, so
10
what-
days, right?
So what the...
Or 4. Was it 4? It was
I
4.
think it was 4. So what...
4 for 10 days?
What
Randy?
We consider 3 shifts as a week for us.
So it'd be, right, but if you have to, say you get COVID, you have to be out for 10 days. 4 COVID days would cover that, right? With the time, with the 48 in between? Am I doing my math right?
If 6 shifts is considered a week, 80 hours would be 2 weeks, so then it would be 6. 2
Right,
weeks
but
is 80
it's,
hours.
right, but with them having time off in between, I'm just trying to figure out what's that right number. Is it 4, is it 6?
So in talking with Hobart, kind of chatting with their clerk's office, they sort of internally, because their policy said you're entitled to up to 80 hours of this sick leave. So for firefighters, they figured what the shifts would be in a 10-day period. So that's what Colin is indicating.
Right.
So based upon your, and I think they were saying 4 there, but I'm going off memory. But it's, yeah, so it's 24 on, 48 off, is that what you guys are doing? So 4 would probably do a 10-day period.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, that's,
Yeah, so I'd like to add that, just so it's clear in the policy and it's not just 80 hours in general.
I can certainly insert that. So that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me before you contemplate whether you want to take this up tonight?
I had a question if whoever chooses not to do the vaccine and has to get tested, who's responsible for the cost of testing?
That would be them.
Okay.
Do you charge to test, Randy?
No, but we do it, we only have limited tests though, so we...
Well, I'm
Now
hoping that we
do
don't.
public safety, and then we help the street department too.
Yeah, so-
Gina, I know somebody that went to, I think it's Midwest Express here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, it's like 15-minute turnaround. I think you have to pay. I'm not sure what they paid. I didn't ask them. But they said then after they checked them and they were negative, they did check their heart and lungs and said they were okay, but they did have to pay.
I believe they do them at the old trustee building too.
Correct.
They're doing testing.
For how long?
Is that the rapid test?
But I don't think they're doing that indefinitely, are they?
Yeah, I don't, it said they were doing it for now, I don't know for how long they're doing it,
I mean, Dan, I want to thank you. This is a pretty comprehensive policy. It goes through 4 scenarios that could come up. Likely, I don't think we've missed anything here, so I'm comfortable voting on this with that change for the 4 firefighter shifts, but I will defer to the council on that one, so.
Yeah, I know this is something that the employees want in place, so if nobody has any major objections, I would make a motion that we adopt it.
And I will second.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second.
With that
They
change.
don't have to-
Right.
So Nina, call the roll, please.
Councilperson Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilperson Gregorski?
Yes.
Councilperson Geisers?
Yes.
Councilperson Williams?
Yes.
Councilperson Gully?
Yes.
Councilperson Zilli?
Yes.
No. We have introduction of ordinances. I think, do you want to flip those?
Yeah, we'll flip those, Senator
Okay,
Talian's on
so
her
we'll
way.
do
so.
ordinance 21-22, the 2022 budget.
Deb, could you just talk about the budget a little bit, what we're looking at, and then we'll go from there?
Well, this has been quite an ordeal, to say the least.
That's an understatement.
We have had many, many meetings. I had many, many meetings with the department heads. We had our last marathon session last night until after 9 o'clock. The reality is, we only get so much money. That's the reality. And unfortunately, we had to make a multitude of cuts, but I think they were fair cuts, and yet we were still able to put some things in there that the departments needed and wanted, but it probably will not be everything, and that is just unfortunately our reality. But with all of that being done, Nina had to then take all of the work that we all put in last night and compile it and get it to the rest of the council. That just happened today. So we knew that last night going in, that there was no way we were going to be able to adopt this tonight. So that is why we got it to everybody. Everybody can study it. We still have a couple questions that we're still waiting on a few answers on from some vendors for next year to see if what we're thinking really is correct. And so next Wednesday evening, then we'll be ready to adopt it.
And I think,
Yeah,
and then talking
go
with
ahead.
Sue from in the past and Colin, it seems like the budget committee, you know, whoever that was in the past would present the council with the budget about the day of or day before the budget adoption meeting, not giving them enough time
Right.
to review,
Right.
and then that's really not great
Right.
practice or fair to the rest of the council. So this offers the opportunity for
And
everyone to take a deep dive.
Truth be told, last year, as most of our first time getting into the weeds of all of it, we really picked it apart this year. Line by line by line by line. And there's a lot of new accounts, so we have to take that into consideration on where things may have been last year, they're not where they are this year. So we put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. I commend all the department heads. Everybody did what I asked them to do. You didn't just give us a budget of this is all we have to get us by. You thought ahead and you did what I asked, and we're trying to do our very best to accommodate as much as we can and then look beyond to see what we can do next year.
And I just want to say it was really refreshing because last night as we were all sitting there, as we had done on previous nights, there was the council president, the budget chair, other council members, myself, the clerk treasurer, all sitting in the room together. We were not fighting, arguing, we were doing serious business, which I think the public expects us to do. This budget was a combination of all of us working together. And after serving on the council for 12 years, I don't believe that ever happened during my term on the council. So I want to thank this group of people who worked so hard to make this happen, because we did truly go line by line by line. We had a lot of pizza and a lot of candy, and we got through it, but thank you.
Coffee.
I do want to commend the budget committee, Scott and Brian and Debbie, and all the time you've put into this. I know it has been an easy task, but we're getting to a better spot. We're not quite there yet. There are a few little things that we'll have to clean up before next week, but this gives the council, I think, a good insight into the full budget and where we're looking to spend our money next year. I'd like to set a special meeting for Wednesday the 27th at 6:30 here at Woodland. We'll confirm which room for sure. And then we will have a presentation that'll go through the budget, what percentage is going to each department, within that department, where it's allocated among personnel, other items in the budget, just so we can present a good picture to the public of what exactly the money's going towards each year. So we'll have that ready for the meeting on the 27th as well.
Given the comments by the budget chair and mayor, and President Zilli, I make a motion to table this budget to our special meeting on the 27th.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to table. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then Dan, this is sufficient notice then, right, for the 27th?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would, I sent a request in for the Cul-de-sac Gateway to unlock it so I can
Great.
I changed the date, I just didn't have it yet.
Great.
And pretty much the salary ordinance is ready to present to the council.
Right.
Which I will present.
That'll be on the agenda for the 27th
That
as
will
well.
be
We
on-
all,
Nina, that gives you enough time to get that, okay.
yep, and we all
But-
have that already,
Right.
so that'll be on our agenda for the 27th.
And again, I worked very closely with the budget chair in this, many hours, so it wasn't just me throwing some numbers together. It was another group effort to try to get through all of this. So that will be Wednesday too. Okay, we have ordinance 21-17, R2 to C1.
Yes, Debbie, do you have that readily available to
I do
read?
not.
Then I will hold that up real quick.
I do not.
All right. Anybody have it in front of them to read? I'm trying to pull it up on Dropbox.
I don't have it.
Hold on.
Here.
Ordinance 21-17, an ordinance of the City of Portage, Indiana, amending Chapter 90, Article 5 of the City of Portage Municipal Code entitled Zoning Map. Be it and is hereby ordained by the Common Council of the City of Portage, Indiana as follows. Section 1, this ordinance shall amend Chapter 90, Article 5 of the City of Portage Municipal Code and accompanying zoning map in the following manner. The zoning shall be changed from R2, low-density residential, to C1, small, medium-scale commercial, on the south 73 feet of the property commonly known as 6641 US Highway 20, Melton Road, and which is shown on the zoning map, Exhibit A, NGLE, drawing Exhibit B, attached here too. Let the record reflect this has been read in full. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Would anyone like to speak on this zone change?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I apologize for my delay. I am very sorry. This property is a business, commercial property that is along Route 20. It, like several others, was rezoned in the zoning map of 2005, and they drew a straight line across the back of all of these properties along Route 20. The front portion was 325 feet, was changed to C1. The rear, approximately 75 feet, was changed to R2. And it followed this line along all these properties. The zoning of the rear section and there are two separate parcels here, creates a hardship because this property, the way it is right now, zoned R1, can't be used. It can't be used as a residential property because it has no access to a highway or to any other street. I think that you have seen this before in Portage. Some of these parcels that have been zoned this way have already been changed. I could keep talking unless you have any questions.
Is this the old transmission shop that was there on 20? Is this the particular area that you're speaking?
Yeah, actually, if you're old enough, it used to be Portage Rentals, but yes,
Oh, yeah.
it's the transmission.
And I am old enough.
That's so am I.
Thank you for reminding me how old I am. I can still refer to you as Senator.
Another week.
Yeah, yes, I thought that was the property. I missed the council meeting, a regular council meeting, so I just wanted to get a visual.
Yes,
of which
it's
property
that,
we're
it's that
referring to.
piece.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to answer any other questions or sit down.
Makes perfect sense to me. Why the change is
Is there any other
necessary.
discussion?
We have a motion and a
We have a motion and a
second, yeah.
No further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. There you go, Senator.
Thank you.
Petitions, remonstrance, and public input at this time. If the public has anything they would like to bring to the council, you may step forward to the microphone. You have approximately 2 minutes.
So, as a citizen, I can come forward and
You
talk.
absolutely
I
can.
have to in August.
Come to the podium and state your name.
Oh, here's mine.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This is only my second council meeting in my whole life, so I did one in Valpo with Mayor Costas, but so I'm very rusty on this. I don't know much about it. So I met you in the end of August, Mayor, and I told you I was getting ready to launch my businesses and things, and now it's to the point now where I'm ready. I've been working for myself for 39 years, and in the last few years I've been kind of preparing for this. And so now it's time to do all this, but I'm quite overloaded. I had to go into semi-retirement this year because it's so overloading developing this stuff for 39 years, and there's many businesses in technology and transportation and entertainment. I've got quite a few films I'm getting ready to release, and radio shows and TV channels, and I'm hosting a summit on technology. Okay, because that's a mess. I've been doing that since '77, and it used to be fun, technology, but now it's a headache and all the internet and all this stuff, and it's a mess. But anyway, I want to have some fun and all that. So I never worked with the, council or cities before, but I've known a lot of the mayors and politicians and governors, Otis Bowen and all that stuff. But that's, I'm 62 now, so I'm semi-retired. As a few months ago, I had to for my health.
And your name is, sir?
I'm sorry?
Your name?
Oh, Rick, I'm sorry.
Do you have a last name?
Santa Croce. Yeah. It's Santa Croce. And Nunzio came over from Italy and started his family in Hobart. And,
Are you a resident of Portage?
Yeah, for the last 2 years.
And where do you live?
I grew up here in Portage.
No, what street do you live on?
Evelyn.
Huh?
I grew up on Evelyn Street, and I live over here on McCaslin.
On McCaslin.
And
Thank you.
moved here 2 years ago.
All right,
And,
thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And I talk a lot, and I'm bouncing a lot, but got some health issues, and I'm overloaded. And I had no staff. I had no payroll. I had nothing. I missed out on the 2 stimulus checks last year. So that was, I think, $4 trillion. And I was ill last year, and I wasn't able to launch this stuff, but now I'm ready. Jim Hubbard is my SCORE mentor. You ever heard of SCORE, anybody? Or
Very familiar with it.
Yeah, and I've been with SCORE since '82 when I started my first business, but I had some health challenges, and I still do, but now it's time to launch everything.
And what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Well, my CV is 70 pages. I've done a lot: technology, transportation, entertainment. I'm getting ready to do the films, so I just need some help from the city, state, government to launch this stuff, because I'm quite overloaded. My chief of staff died in 2005, so it's been very difficult since then. And then I had no payroll, so it's very difficult too. And then all that, and then I missed out on that money. But from what I understand about the people I've known in government all these decades, is sometimes the government, state, locally, and federally will help the visionary entrepreneur launch these things, okay, from a financial standpoint, or maybe resources. Like right now, I'm in desperate need of some housing to set up my recording studios, and then I'm looking for housing to set up my headquarters. And so I talked with Jim Hubbard, and he's with SCORE, which is, about SCORE, and they're the busiest ever, because new people are starting new businesses, so that's some great news. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses being created because of SCORE, so that's some good news for the economy coming in
So what
here.
is it exactly that you do and what you need us to do?
Okay, well, I am, first and foremost, I've been in technology, consumer electronics, and professional since '77, and so now I'm kind of like a very poor Bill Gates or whatever, a lot of technology, but no money and the experience. So now I need help with forming the business plans, because ever since Vernon died, it's hard for me to do that paperwork. So I got the ideas, I'm the inventor, visionary, but I need help with that. And then, because Jim Hubbard can't do that. He can't do the paperwork.
So what exactly is that?
I'm sorry?
What exactly is that you're talking about?
Well, I got to set up the business plans and the
For what?
prospectuses.
What is the business?
Yeah, the business plans and the prospectus. With my health the way it is and being overloaded, too many good ideas, I need some help, and I'm asking help from the city.
But I'm trying to understand what is it that you do?
Okay, my main job is technology. I do things in consumer electronics and professional electronics. I've worked with the manufacturers. I've worked with the retailers. I used to work for Radio Shack and Video Concepts, so I get involved with that. And then I do things in transportation. So I do a lot of things. Being a visionary, doing a lot of different things. I'm very talented at it, but I don't have the business expertise anymore. I'm not good at that.
Sir, I'm not sure that the city's the right place for you. I mean, we're a city government. We don't provide that service to residents.
Oh, no, I understand that. I'm just asking for
I'm
help.
sure there's a business incubator.
No.
I know that there are many in Lake County. I don't know about many in Porter County.
They're all over the place.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm overloaded. I can't take on any more information. I just need to download. So I'm basically coming to the city government. I've talked to the state already. I have a contact down there, Jim Stanton, okay, who works for the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. I talked to him at the end of August, just like I talked to you. So it's time to figure out what to do with all this. I came here tonight to just communicate and let you know what I'm doing. I'm going to get you my biography. Okay,
So yes, that's what we need from you is
Sure.
some paperwork, put your plan on paper.
Right.
And we'll try to direct you to wherever you need to go.
Exactly, something like
This
that.
council can't.
Oh, no, I just wanted to come in
help you, but
to
if
say
you-
hello. I'm sorry if I overloaded you or offended you. I just got too much
you're
going
fine.
on. I'm like your computer when you got too many files.
It's perfectly fine.
No, Rick, you didn't overload us. It's
No.
just that you need to be pointed in the right direction.
Thank you.
I'm very familiar with SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives. I'm familiar with them, and I know they do help with business planning. So they have a template that's available through SCORE, so
Right.
that's where I would spend my time.
Sure,
Working with your SCORE executives
right.
to help you put that plan together, because you're right. A business plan is important, particularly for a startup, to give it direction and create a roadmap.
Yeah,
So I would spend your time and efforts and focus on that
yes.
and work with your SCORE executive.
Well, Jim Hubbard is my current SCORE mentor. He's up here in Valpo.
I know Jim.
You know Jim, very good friend, and I talked to him before I
Well,
came
all
tonight.
I'm saying is that's where you need to focus.
Yeah, he can't do the business plan.
Well,
That-
no, because it needs to be your document, but he has a template online.
Yeah.
I know it exists because I've seen it, that you can use that template
Right,
to be the author of your plan.
right. Unfortunately, when Vernon died, he was my chief of staff. He did all that.
All right.
And then he's been dead since 2005, so I need somebody to help me with that. So we'll figure it out. Jim,
I'm
but-
giving you a suggestion. It's up to you.
Oh, no,
to-
no, but SCORE, I've already talked to the chairman of SCORE, and they can't help me do the template. It's against their bylaws. I have to do it on my own or find somebody to help me.
But they can answer questions.
Oh, no, Jim, he's a wonderful guy, but he can't do it for me. You understand what I mean? Does that make any sense?
No.
He can't help me write it.
Right.
He can't help me write it, but he can advise me, and he's advised me for 7 years, but now it's time to do it.
Okay.
Do the template, like you said,
Start
sir?
right.
Is that right?
Start right.
Is that what it's called, the
Thank you very
template? So I have to find somebody to help me. Maybe the city or somebody, I used to work with NERC, and what's the department in that area? They have that incubator, but they can't do it for you either. you have to have somebody help you do it, but I don't have payroll to get that completed. So I'll get you my information, Mayor.
Okay.
And I'm sorry I overloaded everybody.
Thank you.
I just got so much
Apologize, we
going on,
appreciate
too many ideas. If you can imagine, I have too many ideas. Okay, thank you.
I wish you well.
Thanks for your time. You're welcome.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Maybe someone else has a comment.
I didn't see him jumping up.
You're not.
Hi.
Hi.
So you guys voted on a policy tonight, and
Yes.
there's like 20 firemen here that are very concerned about it, and we have no idea what's in it. Is it too long to read?
I mean, it's pretty exhaustive. I sent it to Randy. I forgot to send it to him earlier, but
So we
the
could
chief
get
does
it,
have
we
it.
can get it after the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak or bring anything to the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The next meeting is